Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It's Sunday night. It's Moose Racing. No, hello there, steady on. It's Moose Day. It's Sunday. It's Tier 2. We head to Abu Dhabi for the penultimate round of our championship. The runaway leader, Andy, is possibly going to be able to claim the Tier 2 championship this evening. He needs a little over 4 or 5 points, I believe. We'll get into the standings shortly. He needs 4 or 5 points to take the driver's title. Hope you have been tuning into some of the other races that we've had this evening. Obviously, we've had Tiers 5, 4, and 3. Tier 3 is literally just finished, where Epic Wins claimed the top step on the podium, followed by Papouts. Pete managed to throw away a podium by battling with Papouts into the hotel section of Abu Dhabi in Sector 3 there, and spun out, costing himself that podium spot. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate, Pete. Right, let's get the old headset on so we can hear what is going on down at trackside. Right then, so before we get into it, as I said, we're racing. We're racing at Abu Dhabi. There it is. Absolutely beautiful track. The Formula 1 Etihad Airways Abu Dhabi Grand Prix of 2023, by the way. Season 7 of our weather forecast has arrived as well. I'm hoping that the weather is reasonably warm, sir. That would be what I'd be hoping. Warm and dry, I think, is the order of the day. Here we go then. Here's your track. The Yas Island in the United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi. We have got 16 turns. It's 5.281 kilometers, 3.2 miles. And of course, very long in terms of the DRS zone. Certainly DRS zone 1 is a long one. down into that horrible little chicane, which is very difficult to come out of, and down through turn 7 and turn 8, the second DRS zone, where moves can get made into that long left-hander. Other areas for us to consider tonight. Other areas for us to keep our mind on the game in turns 2 and 3. Already through 3 races tonight, we've seen multiple casualties, both in qualifying where people have spun into the pit lane and therefore been disqualified, and also spun out into the wall, costing themselves both terminal damage and damage which has forced them to the back of the grid. Not good. Not good. Why am I lagging so horrifically? Anyway, so here we go then. Here are our standings. The standings for Tier 2 after round 7. So out in the lead, needing a mere 6 points to win the title. It's Andy in the Mercedes. He's followed by Kermit Attacks in the Red Bull. And actually, Kermit Attacks might well not. Kermit Attacks doesn't race tonight. And because he doesn't race tonight, automatically Andy is crowned the champion. So congratulations to Andy. You are the world champion. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the top step of the podium for the world title. J. Joe sits in third with Fake Mano, Ketchen, Don't Blink, MB Jacobson, Jordster, Landsharky, and Semtex making up the top 10. Okay, some race notes. The last time we raced here in Tier 2, Moldy Dragon was our victor. He was our victor back in Season 6. Season 5, in fact, I think in November. The top 3 the last time we were here. So people who was in pole, joined him on the front row, and in P3, they all DNF'd. Would you believe it? Every single one of them. So Andy needed to finish 7th or higher to claim the title. As it happens, Kermit Attacks is not here. Therefore, Champione on the top step. Moldy Dragon, good evening, sir. Yes, that is indeed you, sir. You were our last winner at this track. Unless there are any penalties that I forgot to have a look at. Let me know. Yeah, so I think the driver to watch tonight, he's been absolutely dominant all season in the Mercedes. I get to speak to him pretty much every weekend because he's always on the podium. Driver to watch is the Mercedes of Andy. The domination to continue, perhaps. The domination to perhaps continue. Who knows? Who knows? So we're just waiting on a couple more drivers. We've got 17 in the lobby so far. What's good, Moldy Dragon? How you doing, mate? I'm eating some toffees. Sorry if I'm being a bit noisy. I can't help it. Yo! It's only the one and only K-Sizzles in the house. K-Sizzles in the house. How's it going, Kayla? Jordan, what's good, buddy? I've given him a quali banter. Have you actually given him a quali banter? Is he starting at the back? Because that would be fun. He's been nerfed. I love it. I'm having a most magnificent Sunday, Kayla. I really am. Had a really nice day. Spent some time with the kids. Some time with the kids and the lady. Had myself a cheeky little barbecue. Do love a barbecue. Then it was back here for an hour of making sure the stream was set up. Then race. I had a good race for a change. I've just watched Tier 3, and now here I am with the boys in Tier 2. Yes, he is. Good. Well, hot over here isn't necessarily hot anywhere else, quite frankly. So, I think it got to about 30 degrees Celsius today. Yeah, it got to about 30 degrees Celsius today, which isn't too hot for us. Sorry, which is very hot for us, but not necessarily massively hot for everybody else. Yeah, our houses are definitely not made the same. Our houses are meant to stay warm, which means they're all built by brick. It's like having a brick oven. I literally live in a brick oven with some windows. If you open the windows, the mosquitoes get in. We don't have any air conditioning anywhere in the world. In this country, I swear. It's incredibly uncomfortable. Incredibly uncomfortable. But we live and learn, you know, we live and learn. Right then. Don't think we need tyres, do we? Unless somebody's going to make some ropey decisions. So we're getting towards the end of the season. The championship's decided. So we've got a couple of reserves. We've got Mouldy Dragon in. Chosen Tolby's in. He's a reserve. We've got Vince in. He's a reserve. So we do have a couple of reserves in. Let's see how they fare. It is quite hard in comparison. No, Jordan, that's exactly it, mate. We just don't have any aircon. How do we not have any aircon, man? I can hear cars leaving the pits. Semtex is leaving the pits. So Williams that's out first. And it is going to be... It's Iron Boogs. He's going to be the first car out on track. Let's see if I've got the standings up here. I have. So there's no Moo Irons. Moo Irons doesn't have 30 points to his name this season. So I'd like to see Irons do a good job tonight. Yo, Ducati, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, 10 days. Yeah, that number is rising. I mean, I might have used it 3 or 4 times, 3 or 4 weeks last year. You know, when we were hitting temperatures of 41 and 42. That was impressive weather. Not very impressive for me because I sunburned like you wouldn't believe. Right, and into Sector 3. What's your favourite part of this track then? Anybody who's listening? If anybody is indeed listening. Personally, my favourite part of the track is the chicane. Because if you get the chicane right at the end of Sector 2, the middle of Sector 2, you get really good traction out of that. You get the second DRS zone, get the overtake done. Right then, Moo Irons, aka Iron Boogs. Here we go. Good time for us. Sector 1 is so satisfying when done. Yeah, I agree. When you get Sector 1 done well, turns 2 and 3, if you can do it without crashing, you're in great shape. Right now. I didn't get the split on Sector 1. So down we go then. Down the little bit of hill down into this chicane. Let's see how he takes it. Little kiss of the curb. Little kiss of the curb. Takes a lot of curb. Gets a little bit out of shape by the look of it. But on DRS, on the throttle pretty soon. What I have noticed about this track is people aren't using a great deal of ERS on their hot laps. So it's a 53.666, the number of the beast. Moo Irons, you're the beast. Off to the hotel we go then. Is he going to end up like me in the hotel lobby as Atmos does indeed crash? He's crashed in the pit lane. Looks like he's crashed coming out of the pit lane. First time on the board then. Just about keeps it rapid. It's 1:24.8. That will not be pole come the end of this. Sacco like Taco has invalidated. Semtex 24.3, 26.3 for Vince. There's plenty of cars are going to come across the line right now. I'm pretty sure Atmos has crashed in the pit lane. sure that must crashed in the pit lane, you know. As his car's come out on track, we've now got yellow flags because his car's come out onto track. As Gibbsy goes pole, provisional. Your problems ranged to cat. You're absolutely spot on. You're absolutely spot on, sir. Ginger problems. I live and learn. Right then, who've we got then? Who's coming? Where's Sacco? There's a car. He actually had invalidated, hadn't he? So no. Don't Blink's in the pits. Mouldy Dragon. Let's go on. Mouldy Dragon again, like we said, was the last person to win a race round this track in Tier 2. He's driving a McLaren this evening. Punju has snaffled up Mouldy Dragon. Yellow flags around this long left-hander then. Again, this is somewhere else you can get out of shape. Papounce in Tier 3 got out of shape, which cost him the win. Flying across the track there. That was beautifully done by Mouldy. As J. Joe sets a 1:23.8 to sit on provisional pole. What can Mouldy Dragon throw down? He's throwing down absolutely everything himself because obviously he was just setting up for a lap because I hadn't noticed it and he's nearly crashed. Sorry to J. Joe for missing that. An out lap. 2 minutes. Well done, Mouldy. That looks like a pit. Here we go, right. Sacco's making a move. So Sacco's a little bit quicker than what Muayens was. Let's just keep our eye on Sacco then. 400s quicker than Muayens was going through 2 sectors. And he is 800s quicker. 800s quicker, so sets a 1:24.7 to go 6th fastest. So J. Joe's the only person. He's got a fantastic qualifying record, J. Joe, as we know. He is the only person in the 23s so far. Yellow flags. We've got a Mouldy Dragon round again. Yeah, Mouldy Dragon's round again. Yellow flags deep into, or early in Sector 3. He's going to go around again. Probably going to jump into the pits. Here's Chosen Tolby. Tolby, obviously, our Red Bull team principal. Stepping up from Tier 2 because Kermit Attacks isn't here this week. What can the team principal of Red Bull throw down? Looks like he's going to be in the 25s. Yeah, it's a 25.6. Don't blink. Now, this is 4/10 quicker. So this is 4/10 quicker than what Sacco was. So maybe we're looking at something to challenge the second row here. Challenging JB and Semtex. Don't blink. He does. He goes on the front row, gets into the 23s, 1/10 behind J-Joe. So he's J-Joe in the Aston Martin, followed by Don't Blink in that Alpha Tauri. He'd done a purple Sector 3. Gibbsy in the Alpine and JBTC in the Ferrari. Those are the front 2 rows. Landsharky and Andy yet to set a lap. I think Andy's going to probably, led to believe Andy will be starting from the back of the grid. In he comes again. So we've got Landsharky on a lap. Landsharky is on a lap. He looks like he's setting a good time as well. Can Landsharky put in a great Sector 3 that will get him up towards those front 2 rows? Can he get into the 23s as well? Seems to carry good speed around the final corner. Straight line it. He does get to the 23s. It's 300 slower than Don't Blink and 1.3 slower than J-Joe. Sits in 3rd. 3 of our drivers now into the 23s with a good 9 minutes left of qualification. Right, we do have a Mercedes. Is that George on a lap? George on a lap a little bit slower. Maybe make an improvement himself. No, he's just starting a lap as Andy does indeed retire from the session. So let's stay on board with the Mercedes of George to them. See what George can throw down. Now, that's just said he set a purple sector 1. So he's a 10th quicker himself. So that gets him up to around about the 25. So he's going to need, if he's going to challenge the top 10, he needs another 10th. Another half a second if he's going to get into the top 7 or 8. He's doing a last to first yellow. Is that yellow? Or is that Sacco? See, he's got his fish out for you and everything. I missed the split on the sector 2, sorry. So can Georgester make any inroads as Chilly Willy throws down a 23.6, by the way, to go 2/10, almost 2/10 faster than J-Joe. Great lap from Chilly Willy. Here comes George then round that final corner. It's a 24.4 from George. So he does improve, gets a 7/10 improvement to move up to P8. JB's got a little bit of traffic in front of him, and he's a bit slower. Whether he's going to maintain this lap. Scissors dog purple sector 2. Don't believe it. I don't believe it. Yellow. It is yellow. See? I thought it was. JB not overly that much quicker. 4 drivers in the 23s. Can he join them? He needs 3/10. Just about manages to keep it legal. He does. No, he doesn't. Gets 2/10 quicker, but is in the 24 flats. Billy will be coming back in. Don't blink. He is setting himself up for a run. Gibbsy, what's Gibbsy up to? Gibbsy's setting himself up for a run. Mercedes of George will be coming back in the pits. Where's the Aston Martin? It's J-Joe. Is Aston Martin J-Joe 9,000s quicker? What's he? Oh, he's invalidated. He's invalidated. Unbelievable. And he'd gone nearly 3/10 quicker. He'd set a time that was good enough for pole, but he's invalidated. Andy, congratulations, my friend. You've absolutely dominated Tier 2 for the absolute majority of the season. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch you racing, sir. Right, don't blink. What are you up to, blinking? Is he blinking? Is he blinking? He is on a lap. Okay, so. Still only 4 drivers in the 23s. Down that long back straight then. Around the long left-hander. Up into 5th gear, foot down on the throttle. Getting ready to come into the hotel section. Seems to take quite a nice line through there. An absolute critical part of the track here, where you can lose time and you can lose your front wing as well if you spin off into the wall. Manages to control the car well. Just don't blink. Round the final turn. Onto the gas. Here we go. It's a 23.33 faster than Chilly Willy. Absolutely sensational lap from Don't Blink. Well done in that Alpha Tauri. J-Joe has pulled out. Got the other... This is Vince coming around the final turn. Vince had gone a little bit quicker as well. So Vince is set at 25.9. We've got a Haas on its way through. It's not MB Jacobson, it's Ketchen. Ketchen into the pit lane. Right, here comes the McLaren. Now, this McLaren doesn't have a front wing, I don't think. Nope, I did see a piece of papaya fiberglass sat on the home straight. Absolutely out of order. So the papaya front wing has to be replaced. We do have a Ferrari. Is it Maud? Maud dives into the pit lane as well. No improvement from him. Semtex coming around the final 2 turns. Here we go then. Can Semtex challenge for that front 2 or 3 rows? He can. He goes 4th fastest. Our next driver to get into the 23s. We've now got Don't Blink 23.3 on provisional pole. 3 minutes 20 seconds left of qualifying. It's Chilly Willy joining him on the front row with the 23.6. We've then got J-Joe and Semtex on the second row in the Aston Martin and Alpine respectively. The third row, still drivers in the 23s. It's Lance Sharkey in the Alfa Romeo and it's Gibbsy in the other Alpine. Those are your drivers in the 23s as we head into the final 3 minutes of qualification. Anybody out on track at the moment? We've got Chosen Toby is out on track. No, he's back into the pits as well. We've got nobody out on track unless Lance Sharkey's going out. So Lance Sharkey heads out of the pit lane. The only person is, hang on, that's Semtex. Oh, we've got Moo Irons on an out lap as well. So Lance Sharkey, I thought Lance Sharkey was on a hot lap. Was on an out lap. He's clearly just setting himself up. We're going to sit on board with Lance Sharkey right now to see what he can throw down. Can he take 6/10 and get himself on that provisional pole? I like the way he's gone out that little bit earlier. The track's going to be a little bit more clear for him. Also means if you do make a mistake and you invalidate, you do have an opportunity to get yourself back round and get yourself back out on track in plenty of time to put down a lap. Big long run in Sector 2, down to this. Stays in second gear, up through the gears. Opens the rear wing. Keeping a reasonably tight line on that left-hand side wall. Then he'll go off across track to the far corner. 5th gear, round the long left-hander. Into the hotel section. Seems to take that quite early without hitting any curbs. Grabs the inside of that curb. 2 inside curbs here perhaps. No, he's got the outside curb. That might be invalidated. It is. It is an invalidation. So let's get on board with Moo Irons then, because he's next one. 200ths better off is Moo Irons. He's looking to try and get into the 23s as well. So it's Don't Blink, followed by Chilly Willy, J-Joe, Semtex, Lance Sharkey and Gibbsy, all runners in the 23s. We've then got JB in the Ferrari P7, 24 flat, with Moo Irons 24-1. We'll get a better indication as we get down to the end of Sector 2 with 50 seconds left of this qualification session. He's 900ths, almost a 10th up. He needs a good Sector 3. Needs a good Sector 3 to get himself into the 23s and begin to challenge these people sat on the front 2 rows. He's not going to challenge the front row, but maybe he can challenge the second row. Just about keeps it valid. That's well driven. Round the final turn goes Moo Irons then. On the throttle, and he does set, gets himself into the 23s to go 7th fastest. 7 drivers now in the 23s. Beautifully done there. Moo Irons taking a 10th off your previous best time. Right, is this Ketchum? Ketchum coming around the final couple of turns. Is he making an improvement? Looks like he is. Going to be good stay out. He makes it into the 23s as well to go 7th fastest. 2,000 quicker than Moo Irons. Here comes JB. What can JB do? Can he get in the 23s? He can. To go 4th fastest. J-Joe is a 10th up. Chilly Willy. What's Chilly Willy done? Chilly Willy slower. Does not improve his time. Here comes Don't Blink. He's invalidated. So it's down to Gibbsy, 23.7. Great lap from Gibbsy. It's up to J-Joe then. J-Joe goes very deep into the hotel section though. He is 2/10 better off. Can he keep up his outstanding record of getting onto pole in Tier 2 in Season 7? Here we go. We're now 1 turn away from finding out. On the gas we go. He does not do it. He does get himself onto the front row in P2. Wines is validated. Chosen Toby does improve to go 12th fastest. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your qualification for Tier 2 of Moose Racing League this Sunday night. Round number 8 at Abu Dhabi. So a fantastic lap from the Alpha Tauri of Don't Blink. A 23.3 is almost 2/10 quicker than J-Joe in P2 in the Aston Martin. We've then got the Williams of Chili Willy in P3 on the second row, being joined by Gibbsy in the Alpine. It's Ferrari of JBTC in the Semtex-driven Alpine on the third row. The fourth row in P7, it's Landsharky in the Alfa Romeo with Mercedes and Jodster in P8. P9, the final row of our 23 runners. It's Ketchen in the Haas and Moo Irons in the Williams with MB Jacobson, Toby, Sacco Like Taco, Maud, Moldy Dragon, Vince making up the final few places, with Atmos not setting a lap, crashing in the pit lane, and of course BTA Andy serving a qualification ban this week for his horrific behaviour of keeping winning races. Toby to Tier 2. Can you imagine, Jordan? There would be hell on earth if you put Toby in Tier 2. Hell on earth. And Toby, I'm right, aren't I? Right. I'm going to grab a quick top up on my refreshment. I don't think we're going to be starting just yet. Of course, we're not expecting the weather to do much changing. I took a lot of rear wing out since it isn't my main tier. Took a lot of rear out. So you're going for a heavy oversteer then, Toby, yeah? It does look, I'm not joking, it looks a little bit cloudy, ladies and gents. And it's daytime. Here we go, though. 4, 5 red lights. And it's showtime as Don't Blink gets beautifully off the line, but so does J-Joe. Is J-Joe going to dive up the inside? No, it's Don't Blink. Retains P1 into P3 is Chili Willy. JBTC P4. Semtex and Gibbsy exchange places further on down the grid. 5 and 6. As things begin to settle down then, through turns 2 and 3, we do have a casualty. Our first casualty in turns 2 and 3 is Moo Irons in the Williams. Second gap between the front 4 as a move from the Ferrari of JB as we go into that tricky little chicane. Decides better of it, pulls out, but he is all over the gearbox of Chili Willy, moving down into that long left-hander. He's going to try run the outside. Oh, a small little change in direction from Chili Willy. There's your pit strategy. Maud. Up into P9 is Maud, by the way. My controller's broken, folks. There's your position change. So winners and losers as we approach the end of lap 1. Moo Irons down 8 positions now, trailing terribly. Up 5 is Atmos. Up 5 also is Maud. The real losers so far, Jodster, Sacco and Moldy. As Sacco dives into the pit lane. Needs a front wing. Oh! And there's Moo Irons. He's had another accident. And there is our first virtual safety car of the day. As there is fiberglass car all over that Williams. All off the Williams, sorry. At the end of Sector 3. Moo Irons, and Moo Irons has called it a day straight off the bat. He has retired in the pit lane, much to the disappointment of the pit crew, the team principal, no doubt, and everybody else associated with Williams racing this weekend. We've gone green, though. Here we go. We've gone green. Orange rear wing, says Iron Boogs. Oh, that's the spin out in Sector 3 there. Very, very unhelpful. So as we stand then, lap 2, DRS not activated just yet. It's Don't Blink, followed by J-Joe, Chili Willy, JBTC, Semtex, Gibbsy, Landsharky, Ketchum, Maud, MB Jacobson rounding out the top 10. We've then got Atmos, Jordster, Chosen Toby, Vince, BTA Andy up 3 positions. Moldy Dragon and Sacco like Taco in that Red Bull trailing out the end as DRS is activated at the beginning of the 3rd lap. Oh, it was into turn 4. Right, I got you. Awful place to get it, to be fair. Yeah, rear wing damage does infiltrate the ability to race well. Right, let's have a quick check on the tyre strategy then. So, J-Joe out on the hards alongside Landsharky and Ketchum. We've then got Atmos, Joester and Chosen Tolby. And Andy on the hard strategy as well. On medium runners. So Don't Blink is a good distance out, 1.4 seconds out in front of J-Joe. So J-Joe's not going to have DRS and is going to be under attack from Chili Willy. Here we go. Here's Chili Willy on the inside then to make that move down into the long, long left-hander before you get into the hotel section. So J-Joe suffering through tyres there a little bit. Similar story when it comes to ERS. 60% plus in the top 3, 50% in JBTC's car as well. Couple of gaps forming further on down the field. So we've got a gap from Don't Blink down to Chili Willy, then a gap from J-Joe down to JBTC. Quickest laps of the race so far in the 27s now. Chili Willy with a 27.2. Let's see if we can get some action from this Ferrari back then. So the Ferrari followed by the 2 Alpines, JBTC, Semtex and Gibbsy. JBTC not going to have any DRS. Weaving reasonably erratically to try and break that toe. The Semtex gets right up onto the back of him. Is he going to make a move down on the inside? He didn't make a move, decided to back out. I hate that camera on the front wing. Here we go though. We might see Semtex making a move then. He does, gets the move done. Does he? Does he make it stick? Around this long left-hander. He is going to make it stick. Well done to Semtex. What a move from him. Morton losing a position to Ketchin further on down the field. I think that's Maud and Ketchin doing a little bit of battling actually. So over 1 second gap now between Don't Blink, Chili Willy and J-Joe and Semtex. So Semtex, JB and Gibbs is where the racing's at right now, along with obviously Ketchin, Maud and MB Jacobson. Atmos, Joester and Andy. I wonder if Joester's going to fight for that position with his teammate Andy. Burning through the ERS, getting DRS now is JB. Should be a sitting duck. Semtex, is he going to go inside or outside? He chooses to go on the inside line. Gets the move done pretty early. Gets on the brakes quickly enough as well. J-Joe now in DRS range of Chili Willy as well. Made up a little bit of time there. Or is it that Chili lost a little bit of time? Like Taco still going, bless him. Gibbsy and Semtex, the 2 Alpines, changed position. And actually, Semtex has spun out. Was that contact with his teammate? What's going to be happening in the Alpine garage at the end of this race? The paddock could well come alive. The Semtex goes from 5th, all the way down to 16th. These guys fighting for their seats for next season. Anybody in chat want to have a guess as to who's going to win this race then? Obviously, we're quite early in the strategy, only on lap 6 of 29. Are we going to see a J. Joe masterclass here on this hard tyre? Or are one of the medium tyres, medium tyre runners, going to take the medium tyres that little bit further and therefore have marginally fresher hard tyres towards the end of the race? Be interesting to see how far these hard tyres go. You don't want, really, your medium tyres doing much more. I wouldn't think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, being a Tier 4 driver, you wouldn't want your medium tyres on your second stint going much longer than 12, 13, possibly 14 laps. They will be screaming blue murder if they get to 14, that's for sure. Joe really staying in touch with Chili Willy here. Let's have a quick check-in on our head steward. Ford, 4 tenths behind MB Jacobson, just over a second in front of Ketchen. Don't Blink is indeed flying. 2.6 seconds now, the gap. Chili Willy is concentrating a little bit more behind him as well. Come on then, what can Maud do? Are we going to see a Maud Ferrari masterclass into the chicane? We're not. Maybe he's just going to loiter back. He's going to be close enough. Is he going to get the traction out of the chicane to be able to challenge in the second DRS zone all the way down to that long left-hander? Here we go then. We're about to see. The gap is, as Gibbsy takes P4 from JB, the gap is half a second. He's not going to be close enough to get down to that long left-hander. Goes a little bit deep and wide, does Maud. It's a Ferrari sandwich between two Haas pieces of bread as well, we've just noticed. Let's have a quick check-in with Gibbsy and JB then. Ferrari chases Alpine. Gibbsy, after potentially tussling with Semtex further on down, forcing his teammate further on down the classifications. He's going to be fighting now to perhaps make up for a potential mistake to bring points home to Alpine. And he is indeed already up to 11, so I'd like to think that George still let him through, but that gap now is 4 seconds, so that happened quite a while ago, and Andy isn't too far off the back, as we've lost a Red Bull. We've lost a Red Bull. Looks like it might be Chosen Tolby. Might be Chosen Tolby crashing out of the pits, might it? No, I don't know. Can't tell. It was Chosen Tolby. He wasn't coming out of the pits as Atmos takes evasive action, picks up a 3-second penalty. He's got Andy all over the back of him, so Andy pretty much in P10 now. So having started 18th, BTA Andy is up to, our world champion, is up to P10. Net P10. JB's got back in front of Gibbsy again. And Gibbsy's got Lance Sharkey. Lance Sharkey's crept up. Lance Sharkey in there for company as well. We know Lance Sharkey's got a little bit of pace as well. So let's keep our eye on this battle for P4 then. As the top three have gone away. I'll tell you what, Don't Blink is down the road. 4.1 seconds in front of J. Joe now. 4.1 seconds in front of Chili Willy, who still has J. Joe for company. Lap 9 of 29. Don't Blink, followed by Chili Willy, J. Joe, JBTC, Gibbsy, Lance Sharkey, MB Jacobson, Maud Ketchen and Atmos making out your top 10. We've then got Andy, Jules, De Vince, Semtex, Chosen, Toby, Sacco, Light Tackle, Modi Dragon. With our only DNF so far today, Moo Irons, who did spin out very early in today's race, got himself some orange rear wing damage and therefore couldn't race, had to call it a day. Probably best that he's done that. So JBTC is going to be under attack from Gibbsy then, as we get down towards that big long left-hander towards the hotel section. Lance Sharkey just dropped off ever so slightly. J-Joe getting very close now through that hotel section. J-Joe getting very close to Chili Willy and that Williams. J-Joe's got a lot of ERS. Just taps it as he goes into the home straight. Down the long straight there, weaving off to the left and then back to the right is JB. But it's Gibbsy getting quite close. Is he going to get close enough to make a move down? He's not going to make a move down into that chicane. Atmos takes a position from Maud further on down the field. Here we go then. Oh, a little bit of a moment there. A moment for Gibbsy. Lance Sharkey takes advantage. Chili Willy takes back P2 from J-Joe, who'd stolen it briefly. So brief changes out in front then as J-Joe and Chili Willy exchange places twice. JB retains P4. Lance Sharkey does take P5 from Gibbsy, who made a mistake coming out of the chicane. Yellow flags in Sector 3. Looks like that was a slow Vince, maybe just getting out of the way. 6 seconds the gap between Don't Blink and Chili Willy now, by the way. He is putting his foot down. Sector 3 yellow flags again. Looks like a car coming out of the pits maybe. It's a Ferrari. Is it a Ferrari? My controller's broken. I hate it. Lance Sharkey gets past JB. In the first DRS zone. Can JB fight back in the second DRS zone? It's getting very dark, ladies and gentlemen. It is a little bit cloudy. I wonder if we're going to have any rain coming through. 18 laps of the race left to go. Are we going to have rain in the desert? Chili Willy has lost out now to J-Joe. How many more laps is Chili Willy going to do? Probably 2 or 3 more laps. To then take those hard tyres to the end. Into the pits comes JB. He's had enough. He's the first one to blink then. So as it stands, lap 12 of 29, it's Don't Blink, followed by J-Joe, Chili Willy, Lance Sharkey, Gibbsy, MB, Jacobson, Ketchen, Andy up into 8th, our world champion. Atmos P9, it's Jules to P10 in the second of the Mercedes. That's our top 10. So JBTC and Maud in the pits, the 2 Ferraris in the pits. 3 seconds for Atmos. That's 6 seconds for him, I believe. A big hit on the curb from Chili Willy going through the chicane. Two horses very close to each other. MB Jacobson with Ketchen just behind. There are lots and lots of gaps appearing now, obviously during the tyre strategy. Did I just see a raindrop? Maybe I didn't see a raindrop. It's just a little bit cloudy. Into the pits then comes Gibbsy and FB Jacobson. We're going to have a new leader of the race. The new leader of the race is J. Joe. As Don't Blink pits for Hards. Hards to go 16, 15, 16 laps. I would imagine from a perfect scenario point of view, our medium runners in Vince and Semtex and Sacco will probably come back into the pits as well very shortly, as Chili Willy still hasn't left the pit lane yet. In comes Semtex. .6-second gap between JJ and Lansharky. Andy now just quietly going about his work up into P3. Less than 10 seconds behind JJ. Obviously with Kermit not here this week, that's been our battle for the season so far. It was JJ and Andy certainly within qualifying. Kermit obviously second in the championship, but not here this week. Again, J-Joe, just keep your eye on what he does. Taps the ERS button, just going down the home straight. Stay on board with J-Joe then. He's 4.9 seconds ahead. Roughly 80% throttle through turn 3. Down into turn 4, down to the hairpin then. Back on the throttle now. No ERS utilised just yet. Still maintaining a 4.8, 4.9 second gap. Quite deep into that low chicane. Kisses the second curve, rides the outside curve back down into the DRS section. Inside to outside as you'd expect. Kissing the curb, takes quite a lot of curb there on the inside of that long left-hander. That was a lap on board with J-Joe then. So Andy's going to have Ketchum for company. Well, Andy's actually passed Ketchum on track. I thought that was due to Ketchum stopping, but Ketchum actually hasn't stopped. So J-Joe, Lansharky, BT Andy, Ketchum and Atmos, alongside Jordster and Tolby from earlier on. They're the guys yet to pit. So we'd say that Don't Blink is still in a good position on track. Sacco picks up 3 seconds. He's managed to pick that 3 seconds up going into the pit lane as well. Don't Blink does indeed take a position from Atmos. That's going to do him a world of good. He's not going to get held up by Atmos. He has burnt through the entirety of his ERS though. Absolutely nothing left in the tank. The battery is flat. Sector 2, yellow flag. It's a Ferrari. It's JB. JB who's had a problem down there. JB's only 1.4 seconds behind Ketchin. Ketchin who's caught right back up on the back of Andy as well now, by the way. Don't Blink is just reeling these two guys in. Hard to medium strap works well here, says Jim. We've got plenty of runners and riders on that hard to medium strat at the moment. So J-Joe Lansharkey, BT Andy, Ketchen, Atmos, Georgester, and Chosen Tolby all on that strat at the moment. Cars spread reasonably evenly around the track. Other than this little battle we've got going here for potentially podiums. Well, potentially race win when we're looking at Don't Blink. That red light flashing on the back of the Haas. Yeah, Ketchen's out as well. Farming away. Might see ourselves a move. We might see some pit action. We do see some pit action. J-Joe, the first of our hard runners to blink. Seems like everybody else is going to stay out. Yeah, Lansharkey, BT Andy, and Ketchen all stay out. Might find himself with a warning there, Mike Don't Blink. Doesn't want to pick up any penalties. That could be conclusive when it comes to racking up who wins this race. We know who's won the title. We know who's going to win the Constructors. All about pride now for the rest of the drivers and who's going to take second place. We're going to see a Don't Blink move on the outside of Ketchen down into the chicane. Unsurprisingly. Is he going to be able to make sure he gets enough traction out of there, though? Number one, to go and chase down BT Andy, but also to protect that position that he's just won from Ketchen. Ketchen, not enough ERS to fight back. The gap's going to be too big, I think. Or is he going to make a move? Is he going to make a move? Oh, decided against it at the end. That could have been catastrophic for both drivers. Good decision there from Ketchen. Not a lot of ERS kicking around in these drivers. 40%. So Lansharkey's got the advantage. Is he going to pit now? Yes. Here we go. Pit strat for Lansharkey. Into the pits he comes. 3 seconds for Andy. He's picked 3 seconds up coming into the pits as well. New leader of the race is Don't Blink then. What's the gap going to be like between Don't Blink and J-Joe when the washing is done? That was 100% throttle around turn 3 for Don't Blink. Outstanding from him. So the gap is 8.1 seconds then. 5 lap old hard tyres versus 1 lap old mediums. Are we going to see those medium tyres reel in Don't Blink in the Alpha Tauri? A bit deep into the chicane goes Don't Blink. And already that 8.2 second gap is down to 7.6. Not even halfway through the lap. Not even 2/3 through the lap, say, as we get to the end of sector 1, 2, 3, sector 2. That's where we're at, sector 2. My inability to count this late in the evening is going to be legendary, I'm sure. 6.9 seconds the gap then. Let's jump on with J-Joe. How hard's J-Joe pushing? Can he get these tyres to the end of the race, or are they going to fall off a cliff? Round the final turn onto the home straight. So he's the length of the home straight away. He has set the fastest lap of the race as well at a 26.3. The Aston Martin Aramco Cognizant Formula 1 team. Still only one DNF in this race. Not too sure who's winning the Constructors' battle at the moment. Seeing as we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different Constructors in the top 7 places on the track. Hey Jack, how you doing? Go Don't Blink, says Infinite. Got my name changed. Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, you did. Well done, Jack. going to be close. I think it is going to be close because that gap already down to 6 seconds from 8.2. And we are a lap and a half into the chase. Atmos and JB exchange positions. Don't forget, let's have a quick look at some penalties. 3 seconds for BTA Andy, 6 seconds for Atmos, 3 seconds for Sacco. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm not too bad, thank you, Jack. I'm flagging a little bit tonight. I don't think I'm my usual electric self. Ketchen catches 3. That's not easy for me to say. So 3 for Andy, 3 for Ketchen, 6 for Atmos in that midfield in place 7, 8 and 9. Back at working. Sorry, brilliant. What is this sorcery? Mouldy Dragon speeds in the pit lane to pick up 5 seconds. JB. He's DNF'd in the pit lane. He's had enough for the night. JB's race was going so well as well. Here comes the shark, says Jim. Yeah, Landsharky. I tell you where, they come together. I got distracted by chat for a moment. Chilly Willy picks up 3 seconds. That's unfortunate for him. He was trying to fight back his position. So Landsharky does indeed take P3. Can Landsharky? Sector 3, and it's Chilly Willy who's gone round. Oh my God, he's ghosted. Praise the Lord that he's ghosted. My word. That would have been absolute carnage. Not what it is, no, yeah, I mean. So all this then has pushed Andy up to P5. So Andy started P18. He's P5. He does have a 3-second penalty, but obviously he's on these medium tyres. We've got a spinner. It looks like it's Atmos. Atmos in turn 3. Here's Andy then. DRS wing wide open. Not utilising any ERS. Down into the chicane on the inside. Takes the position from Gibbsy. Ketchen takes a position from his teammate. Further down the pack as well. Can Gibbsy fight back down into the long left-hander? Is he going to be close enough? He's not going to be close enough to get anything done down there. Andy powers away. Half a second out in front of him already. The gap out front is down to under 4 seconds. He is, Kayla, yeah. Incredible. Gap out in front's down to below 4 seconds then. 7 laps of racing to go. 3.8 seconds to play with if you're don't blink. And as we say every week, don't blink or you'll miss it. 5.1 seconds the gap from Andy to Landsharky then, plus this problem we've got with Chilly Willy diving into the pits, is it? No, Chilly Willy had himself another moment. .4 seconds now the gap. 3.3. 3.2. Mouldy Dragon's fastest lap. 1:25.7. Look how much ERS J. Joe has got as well. 73% ERS versus Don't Blink's 38. So there's a compound advantage. There's an ERS advantage. And in about 2 laps, there's probably going to be a DRS advantage as well. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to hit that like button for the video. Certainly if you're part of the MRL regulars, every time you like a video, it's going to help the channel. Congratulations to everybody involved, by the way, to the media team, the executive team, and everybody who comes through and watches and spends time here. We got ourselves through 1,000 subscribers. The first big milestone that we've hit as MRL. Next one, within 4 or 5 weeks, we'll have hit that watch time number. 2.7 seconds. Places exchange between Mouldy and Maud. Down at... There's been an incident. There has been an incident. It's Maud. Where are you, Maud? Maud's ghosted. There was a problem. Heading down. Oh, there's no front wing on that Ferrari. There was a problem heading down into the hotel section of this track. 2.4 seconds this gap out in front then. It's Don't Blink in the AlphaTauri, followed by the Aston Martin of J-Joe. It's an Alfa Romeo of Landshark. He's a further 8 seconds back as Maud calls it a day in the pits. BTA Andy then in the Mercedes in P4 with a 3-second penalty, 2.3 seconds. He's got 7/10 to play with in Gibbsy in the Alpine. It's Ketchen and MB Jacobson in P6 and 7 in the 2 Haas with a McLaren of Atmos in P8. Jordster in the second of our Mercedes P9 with Chili Willy rounding out that top 10 in the Williams after his catapult down the order. Under 2 seconds now, the gap between Don't Blink and J-Joe. We've got a race in our hands here. Lap 24 of 29. 73% ERS versus 49. So we do see the AlphaTauri doing a little bit of ERS farming to try and bridge the gap somehow between lap 7 old medium tyres and lap 11 old hard tyres. Ferrari can't catch a break. You're absolutely right. Yellow, you're absolutely spot on. Ferrari can't catch a break in Tier 2 for sure. So at the end of lap 24 then, from the start of lap 25, we might see ourselves with an Aston Martin that has a gap big enough to pick up DRS. Sector 3 to go then before we start lap 25. Other action we've got is Gibbsy, who isn't a million miles in front of Ketchen. 3/10 that gap. Are we going to see a move by Ketchen go around the outside? No, we're not. Is he going to try the switch back? No, he's going to try and drive it all the way around the outside. Is he going to get the traction to do it though? No, he goes off track, as does Gibbsy. Well defended there by Gibbsy. Defending against that pass of Ketchen. MB Jacobson just dropping off the back of that group now. As we're keeping our eye on some of the gaps throughout the rest of the field. A little bit of a battle going on between Sacco, Vince and Tolby. Not for any kind of points though, down at the bottom of the field. Semtex after his great start at the back. Here we go then, here we go. Oh, and it's Gibbsy loses it going round their hairpin. What a mistake that is from the Alpine driver. 12 lap old hard tyres. Would have thought he'd done better there. Let's get back to where it really matters then. Out in front, it's J-Joe, now within DRS range. Is he going to be able to get himself into DRS range, ready for the first DRS section of this track? I would suggest so. You're going to start using ERS at the beginning of here again. Yeah, he just pumps a little bit of ERS out on the home straight to get himself into DRS. 9/10 now. Alpine strikes again, Kayla. Alpine strikes again. Here we go then. With every other gap in the field being over 1 second apart from Chosen Tolby to Vince, who's just made a move, this is where our action is, as the rear wing of the Aston Martin opens wide, chasing down the AlphaTauri, probably too far back to make a move down into the chicane, but getting close enough perhaps. 6/10, maybe getting close enough on lap 26 of 29. Rear wing wide open yet again, pumping the ERS. Do we have Don't Blink defending? No defending ERS from Don't Blink. Who's going to brake first? What a battle this is between the two then. Getting down into the hotel section, J-Joe does indeed take the lead of the race. But now he's at a disadvantage with ERS. Three and a bit laps to go. Is he going to be able to make those tyres do what they need to do? Don't Blink is utilising some ERS to stay in touch. It's 25% versus 49%. He's got double the amount of ERS. Can Don't Blink, who's driven beautifully this whole race, keep in touch? And still challenge for this win? How long are these medium tyres going to last? They should be able to last the course. So it's 5/6. Again, is he going to just try and get himself close enough so he can make a move? Don't Blink. So there's 4/10 in it then. Can he get good traction? He does. He gets great traction out there. It's only 3/10. ERS and DRS. Jump on board. He's not going to be close enough. Not going to be close enough and has to do it all again. A little bit deep into that. We're going to see some tyres going off anytime soon from this Aston Martin. Roughly equal ERS now. Here we go, rear wing open. Going to be close enough again, getting to within 2/10 every time. Getting within 2/10 every time is Don't Blink. As Sacco like Taco DNFs in the pit lane on lap 28 of 29. He's had enough. Semtex has thrown some soft tyres on, trying to steal that quickest lap. This is the race for the top step of the podium then. On lap 29 of 29, it's J-Joe, followed by Don't Blink, 4/10 in it. There's then a 10-second gap to Land Sharky, who looks like he's going to pick up the third step of the podium. So this is it. This is where we watch. This is the race. Here we go. Down towards this hairpin then. Are we going to see a move made by Don't Blink in DRS zone 1 or 2? As the dump of ERS for J-Joe, so he can try and defend. The gap's still 3/10. Don't Blink's going to have to get a little bit closer into this DRS zone. Looks like he is quite close. Does that get up? Oh, what a mistake from J-Joe! And that leaves Don't Blink to clear the accident as J-Joe makes a huge mistake. I don't know whether there was any contact there. But J-Joe makes a mistake, through goes Don't Blink, and he's going to cruise round on lap 29 of 29 in Abu Dhabi, down into the hotel section, 10.5 seconds clear of his closest rival now. Through the hotel section we go then. AlphaTauri, the sorcery is complete, as round the final bend comes Don't Blink onto the home straight to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in Tier 2 for Moose Racing League. Congratulations to him. Semtex does indeed pick up the fastest lap of the race with a 1:28.6. That prevents somebody else from picking up a point. That is incredible from J-Joe. On the final lap, all he had to do was keep the car pointing in the right direction. He did have a DRS disadvantage, but of course, he had the ERS advantage. He had the opportunity to defend. It was just down that final straight, that final DRS zone on the final lap of the race. And it was bottled. Vintage J-Joe. Vintage J-Joe. Puncture. Can't have had a puncture, surely. You know, they have 12 lap old mediums on. Unless they'd really gone to the wall. Ducati, I did think that maybe he'd got tapped. I've completely missed the rest of the runners there. Sorry to anybody else. But it's Don't Blink. Unsurprisingly, BT Andy does get driver of the day, so congratulations to him. If somebody could capture, please, some standings. This is something I make a mess of every week. As well. Here it is then, AlphaTauri, top step. Top step. Champagne is spraying. We've got an Alfa Romeo on there. That must be Lanciarchi. And Andy made the podium in the end. Made the podium. We're going to get to speak to Andy again. So it's Don't Blink in P1 in the AlphaTauri, followed by Lanciarchi in the Alfa Romeo. The Mercedes of our world champion BTA Andy in P3. Two Haas, Ketchen and MB Jacobson in P4 and 5. Gibbsy P6 in that Alpine. P7 is Jordster. P8 Atmos. P9 Chili Willy. Chosen Tolby picks up a point in the Red Bull in P10. Is Vince in P11 with Moldy Dragon P12. J-Joe down into P13 and DNFing. Followed by Semtex, Sakurai Taco, Maud, JBTC, and Moo Irons. What a way. What a way to close out the race. Should be plenty of time to get some screenshots here, by the way, guys. Should be plenty of time to get some screenshots. Good. Should you just have the tier 3 race? Tolby. You gave me a punch on the last lap, J-Joe. Bro, you must have run over something, mate, because you only had 12 lap old medium tyres on, my friend. Right, I'm in media box 2. I need to make sure that things work properly this week, because they didn't last week. Let's get in the interview room, shall we? Let's get in the interview room. Let's see who we can drag across. So let's go for the P3 driver. So if somebody could go into, by the way, somebody could go into the tier 2 chat room and try and get me Don't Blink and Lanciarchi to interview, please. That would be most helpful. Let's drag Andy in. Andy, are you there, sir?
Yeah. Hi there.
Hi, how you doing?
Pretty good.
I thought you might be feeling quite good, considering, and bear with me, I'm just going to see if I can get the media box to work properly. Do you have a face cam?
It's not connected right now.
It's not connected. The only reason I ask, Andy, is because, of course, having been in this interview booth repeatedly, you're a repeat offender being in the interview booth over the course of the season. It would have been nice for the ladies and gentlemen watching the stream to see the face of our Tier 2 world champion. Congratulations. How do you feel?
Thank you. Yeah, it would have been great. Maybe I can like set it up for the last round or something. Could have been cool. But yeah, thanks a lot. I kind of saw that it was like official before the race started because Kermit was out today. But yeah, been a great season overall. Been lucky, I would say, and not caught up in too many incidents and stuff.
Well, every title takes a little bit of skill and a little bit of luck.
Yeah, that's right. So
you must have had all my luck this year. You must have had all my luck because I didn't have any. Yeah, well, it's been absolutely wonderful commentating on your world championship. You've got a one final race, obviously next week at Canada, and then we move into the new game cycle.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I really look forward to the new game and the new challenges it comes with.
Absolutely,
especially going on no assist on the new game is scaring me a little bit, but we'll do our best, just try and get the grind in.
Absolutely, mate. 100%. Well, congratulations on the podium today. Congratulations, absolutely, on what's been a magnificent and dominant world title. And look forward to probably speaking to you again next week.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you so much.
Cheers, Andy. Take care, buddy. Okay.
Take care.
Who should we get in next then? I think Landsharky says he'll go after Andy. Okay. Yeah, we've got to speak to our race winner last. Sharky, can you hear me, brother? Oh, you're on mute. Let's unmute you.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How you doing? You good?
Good. How are you?
I am very well indeed, sir. Congratulations on getting onto the second step of the podium. Did you think that was going to happen halfway through the race?
It was tough to say. I knew I invalidated my last qualifying lap and I was improving on it. So I just knew my race pace was going to be a little bit better. So I figured if I stuck in there, top 5, top 6 area, I'd be in for a good result.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And which remind me, which strategy did you run? Did you run medium hard?
Hard medium. I went hard medium.
Hard medium, yeah. So you had a little bit more pace towards the end as well.
Oh yeah, the mediums, they felt terrific compared to the hards.
Good. Give me a second. I've got to stop my Xbox from making a noise.
All good.
Yeah, so we're obviously the last race of the season next week is at Canada. Firstly, how do you like Canada?
Yeah, I gotta say there's a few tracks I like better. I'm not gonna lie, but the track limits can be a bit of a pain there for me.
Yes, they can. Certainly for me in Sector 1, run about turns 3 and 4 can be a bit of a pain.
Yep. There and the world champions, very very tough. But I think my pace will be good regardless. It was great to get a good result today. I know Alfa Romeo needed it for the constructors, so.
Yeah, is that one of your best results of the season?
Yeah, well, this race was a P2, and then the opener in Singapore was a P2 as well. So
Yeah,
matched my best result. But yeah,
congratulations.
thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Well done, Sharky. You take care, mate. Have yourself a wonderful week, and I'll look forward to watching you in Canada again next week. Hopefully, get on the podium again.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Take care, buddy. Thanks very much.
You too. Take care.
And on to our race winner, Mr. Don't Blink. You are on mute at present.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome.
I've just got to do a couple of little bits because I've got to move the camera because unfortunately it appears to be my head that's on the camera and not yours, which is not ideal. There we go.
Well, did you enjoy?
I did. You know what? That was an incredibly enjoyable race to watch. There were moments in and out of it where I was like, "Are we going to get a race here?" And then I saw J-Joe throwing the hard medium strategy out, and he was reeling you in like I couldn't believe. And it gave us some fantastic racing all the way down to the last lap, where obviously he said he's got a puncher. It looked like a mistake to me. I thought he might have had a bit of a tap from behind from you. Just talk me through that final couple of laps.
Yeah, man, he was quick. I couldn't tell if it was him or the medium tire. He told me that maybe hit the curb and his tire punctured. I couldn't tell. I was really close with him, but I didn't touch him. Felt kind of bad for him. It was his win.
Well, it was all based around that last DRS zone on the last lap with you within 0.2. I'd been saying the previous 2 laps that you needed to be 1 or 0.2 a little bit closer to get a move down into that big long left-hander that takes us down into the hotel section of Sector 3. And I was looking forward to that. And all of a sudden, the poor guy's in the wall.
I know, man. I don't think I would have got him, though. I had too much downforce. I think if we were side by side going into that sweeping left, I would have, but I don't think I could have got up there.
Right. Okay. What wings did you run today?
I think it was 23 on both.
23. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to check. But I was wanting a good Sector 3, and I was thinking if I was ever behind him, I could stick in DRS and get some space from the guys behind.
Yeah. Well, it was a hell of a race to watch. Obviously, multiple things happened throughout the course of the race. Some of our drivers obviously got quite unlucky, but we only had one DNF with about 4 or 5 laps to go, and then there were a flurry of DNF towards the end where people decided they'd had enough. But it made for great viewing. It made for great racing, and yeah, I'm glad to see you you grab a win. You've been driving really well the last few weeks, and it's nice to see you pick up a top step on the podium.
Well, thanks, man. I'm gonna jump into Tier 1 and try to get a point, maybe.
Hey, go and do it. You've got some good pace. Again, that setup looks pretty steady to me. You never know what can happen.
Very true. Thank you, sir.
We'll
take
take care.
Soon.
Good luck. Okie dokie then. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. That was Tier 2. My name's Andy Ragequit. What I'd really like you to do now is go over to Tier 1. We're going to join Punju. I'm going to see if I can find you a link to link Punju in. You can get yourselves over there and go and see Tier 1. These were quick boys in Tier 2. These are quick boys in Tier 1. The title's still up for grabs between 2 drivers, Zylo and Giants Fan, I believe. So get yourselves over there. It's the penultimate round. It's round 8 at Abu Dhabi. They're going to go around it many times. The weather will be dry. The racing will be quick. And you'll be entertained. Thank you very much. You take care. Catch you very soon. Mwah.
by Carlos.